So the Prius has this little cargo area in the back, and I like to keep all my clothes, also the inverter, down under here. The problem is that it only opens from the back when you get it from the factory. So what I did was I modified it so when I'm sleeping on the inside at night, I can get to all my clothes and everything from the inside. So I'm going to show you how I did that. So you can see how this typically works is it only opens from the outside. So what I did was I added this tab here so that it opens from the inside too. And all you really have to do is there's this little plastic tab here, which normally that inserts into that little space here, and that prevents this side of the cargo bay from opening. So all you have to do is take a hacksaw, cut off that little plastic tab, and then what I used was just a piece of Velcro, the soft side, adhesive Velcro, and I adhered it here and then folded it over itself to form a little tab. So it's nice if you can find color Velcro that matches your carpet like this. But that's really all there was to it. It still stays in place. And one thing to watch out for is if you've got cabinetry like I do here, then you want to make sure that this can still clear it. So it just barely does. And I built this cabinet with that in mind. So the bottom just comes out right to the edge of the cargo space, and then the countertop overhangs a bit with this angle. Another thing I wanted to mention was these compartments on the side that I added. This is just 1/4-inch Luan plywood, and it took some trial and error to get the right shape, but they just kind of sit in here. And a recent addition I made was to add these little angle brackets on the bottom, and that really helps to secure it, make sure that it stays out of the way when you're opening and closing the cargo area. So all it is a little angle bracket and a couple of screws. I just drilled a couple little holes in this plastic piece here, and that's enough that it just holds it in. And same thing on this side. And these are covered with a utility carpet that I got at Home Depot. It's a pretty decent match for the color of the carpet. And it's the same thing I used on my platform over here. Just a quick tip if you've got an inverter underneath here. The problem is that there's not a lot of airflow and the inverter can get really hot, so you don't want it to overheat. So what I do when I'm running it is I make use of these little cargo fastener tabs, and what I do is I just open it a little bit and then fold that tab down like that, and that actually holds open the cargo bay a little bit. So it just holds it open a crack so that you can get some airflow in there, and then that inverter will be much happier, especially if you're running it for a while. If I'm just boiling water for coffee, I don't usually have to do that. One thing I wanted to mention is it's really important that you fasten your inverter to the floor. I didn't do that at first, and the thing slid all over the place, and it loosened up the connections. And I actually got one of the connections, the plastic melted a little bit. So you really gotta watch out for that, and make sure this thing is secure.